this video, I'm going to be taking Lego set names, and whatever I get from these 100 translations, I'm gonna have to rebuild it based on that translation. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's start by something like the witch hut. And now let's change the translation to 100. And now let's translate. Maya's house. Who's Maya? Alright, let's try again. So if some of these translations don't make any sense and I can't make anything out of them, I'm gonna try again with another set name. So let's try with the zombie cave. The man who died riding a motorcycle.
Bruh.
This may not make sense to most of you guys, but I have a plan to build something. So this mock is obviously gonna be pretty sad, so I used dark green tiles to make the mock look darker. Okay, so I kind of want to simulate a motorcycle crash because that's the most accurate way to die on a motorcycle, so I'm gonna add a tree. Now let's add the hardest part of the mock, the motorcycle. So for the body, I used Lego's blast furnace with some inverted snot brackets to connect the wheels, which are grindstones. Now I added the top, which are some wooden slabs, with an end rod at the top for some handlebars. Now let's add the man that was on the motorcycle. The next set we're gonna translate is the bee farm. Very high. Okay, I know what to do. I'm gonna build a really tall tower that goes very high. Let's first start by building the first floor. What I'm doing here is tiling the floor to hide the studded surface. Next, let's build the walls. I decided the walls to be birch wood, aka just tan bricks. I specifically picked birch because of something later throughout the video. In the middle of all of that, I added some yellow windows to the walls. Next, I added a door. And to solidify everything into place, I added some more bricks and plates on top of everything. Now it's time to build the first floor ceiling. This ceiling is going to be made out of horizontal wood logs. I'm using 2x2 jumper tiles on top of inverted Technic brackets to give the wood log look. I then gave the outside a bit of decoration by adding some arches. First floor done. Now let's start building the second floor. The second floor is gonna be a little smaller than the first one with stone balconies on each side. And it'll be using a mix of birch wood and oak logs. And inside that second floor there will be nothing but a water elevator. Now let's add a ceiling to the second floor. Next, let's expand the water elevator until it becomes very high. And since this used to be the bee farm before the translations, I have to add a bee face to this tower. I added some 2x2 clear bricks to simulate some glass to make the elevator look more fancy. And in the back of it, I just made a bee pattern using some brown and yellow bricks. Now let's add the third and last floor of this tower. This floor is mostly just gonna be a storage room, so all I added in here were chests. This last floor is gonna be a little more open for it to be some kind of like watch room where you could snipe some mobs outside from that room. So instead of walls, I added fences. Now let's add a roof. I have no idea why I didn't do this before, but let's complete the second floor's balcony. Let's also light this thing up with some torches. And to make it even higher, let's add a beacon beam. And for some finishing touches, let's add some grass and some players around the build. This thing is so tall that it goes through my background paper. The next set we're translating is the Pillager Outpost. So for the floor of this broken house, I decided to give it a ruined look and added some green tiles to represent some grass spreading throughout it. Now let's actually start building the house. So for that, it was pretty simple. I just built a normal small village house and made it look destroyed. And lastly, I added illagers because they're probably the only ones that would destroy a villager house. Then I added this funny looking Steve that looks like he just got his house destroyed, which is the look I'm looking for. And here we have the broken house. I don't know why, but this feels like a really good bedside decoration. Next, let's try the skeleton Big Fig set. What? No, I'm not doing that. I'm making a video right now. Anyways, let's try translating the sword outpost. Holy sword. I actually have a pretty good idea for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is tile off the base that I just built for this. Now let's add an entrance for a secret base. Just by the entrance, you could tell that this mock is going to be pretty big. So let's build the cave section of this build. This cave is also inside of a mountain. Now let's cover the secret base with some dark gray. Let's fill the secret room with an enchantment corner and a storage corner. And to light the secret room up, let's add some torches. Now let's finish the mountain. And let's add this mechanism that I'll show what it'll do later in this video. I kinda wanted to add a not so hidden base on top of the hidden one, so that's what I did next. To start the structure, I added these cool pillars, and now let's build the walls. Last minute, I decided this to be some kind of basement, and on top of that, there's gonna be a Greek themed little house. Now let's add some stairs inside to go up. Honestly, I have no idea what to put inside of here except for one chest, so let's just tile everything off. Now let's add a roof to add the house on top of it. Let's tile this thing off. Now it's time to build the small house on top. Now let's tile off this terrain. For the grass type, I chose farmland to give it an ancient look. For some of you guys asking, hey, where's the sword? There it is. I'm honestly so proud how this came out. Now let's implement this sword into this mock. Since this got translated to Holy Sword, I decided to add wings to the sword. Now let's add some players all around this holy sword. So there's a really epic play feature where only the chosen one could pull the sword out and open the gate of the hidden base below. And this happens because there's a play feature at the back, which I built earlier in this video. So if you pull this off, you could successfully pull out the sword. So basically the chosen one is the smart person who flips the mock around and pulls the red knob out. For the last set of this video, let's try the wool farm. Who the f is Harry? Okay, maybe the melon farm. Alright, let's build an orange market. First, let's build 4 pillars which are made out of dark tan masonry bricks. Then I added these counters for the villager to sell his stuff on. Now let's build the roof of the market. This roof is gonna be similar to the Plain Village blacksmiths. Except this roof has a giant brick-built orange on top of it, which makes it 1,000 times better. Let's lock in the big orange with some plates. For the final touches, let's add some orange crates. Even though there aren't any oranges in Minecraft, for the sake of this translation, I had to add some. And a guy who buys the oranges from the villager. And here is the orange market. So this was me building a bunch of sets that got translated 100 times. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should I make a part 2? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I build the Among Us Minecraft update out of Lego.